Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's Antoinette from Simply Yet Chic.
In today's video, I am so excited to share with you guys my top $20 tree spring and Easter DIYs. And this is a compilation video of my favorite spring and Easter crafts that I have made on my channel so far. So now it's the time to sit back, relax, press play, and have fun catching up on any of the DIY that you miss seeing. They are all here for you in one video, so I hope you be inspired, and let's get started. My inspiration came from Pinterest. I found these mason jar sconces that I really like, and I thought I'm gonna recreate them. So let me show you how I'm gonna do that. So I'm using these two Easter signs that I picked up from Dollar Tree, and I'm gonna use the back side of it. And instead of mason jars, I thought to use this Classico sauce jar that I saved to reuse for some project, and I have two of them. Some jute twine. Also, I am using two of these cabinet knobs and some greenery and florals. Firstly, I need to paint my signs and the jars with this acrylic white color from Dollar Store. I am leaving this jute to hang them with it. Then when everything is dry, I'm gonna use this brunette color and use the dry brush method to give it that distressed look. Then I am mixing a little bit of same brunette with some water and brush lightly over the signs. And then when everything is dry, I'm gonna glue these knobs to the signs using some E6000 with some hot glue. Then to hang these jars, I'm gonna take some twine and glue one end on this side of the jar like this, leaving some twine out, and glue it again to the other side as well. Then I'm gonna wrap the rest of the twine around the jar couple of rounds to make it sturdy and strong. Then add some more glue to the end. And lastly, I'm adding a little bow to finish it. Now I'm gonna insert some flowers that I had in hand. I am just gonna play around with it. You could also find some beautiful flowers at Dollar Tree. Final step would be hanging these jars to the signs, and there I think they turned out super cute. For only few dollars I was able to recreate them. I am so happy with the way they turned out. I hope you enjoyed watching. Next DIY was reusing this same grapevine wreath that I used all the times for different seasons, and this time was for spring and summer. I mostly used things from around the house, which I needed some ribbon to make a bow and some different size flowers with some greenery. So first I placed the bow on the wreath and secured it at the back. Then I weaved these peonies in the wreath close to the bow. Then I weaved the medium-sized one into the wreath, and then I worked my way out, adding all the small flowers on the edges along with the greenery. And lastly, I added this wooden letter K for our last name and secured it with 2 pieces of wires at the back. Then I hung it on my front door and I thought it looked really pretty. Next project was this gorgeous centerpiece that was really simple and super easy to make. I used 4 of these glass containers that I got from Dollar Tree a long time ago. I painted them with this acrylic white color from Dollar Tree as well. And once they were dried, I went and used some brown color in this paper towel and I went lightly over it to give it that aged look. Then I glued a piece of floral foam inside each container. Then I sticked some lavender stems that I had around the house into the foam. I did that with all 4 jars. Then I added some twine around the neck of each jar. And on this tray that I thrifted long time ago, I placed them and I thought they looked really pretty. Next project were these topiary trees that I made last year. I still have them in my living room and they are my favorite. I'm not gonna go through all the details here, but I will leave the link in the description box below in case you wanna watch the full video. So I used a different size topiary balls that I thrifted some and some were from dollar store. I also needed 2 pots that I already had, few foam blocks from Dollar Tree and the curtain rod that I thrifted. First, I spray painted the pots with this Rust-Oleum white color, and once they were dry, I filled them with some baby rocks to add some weight. Then I put some foam blocks in the middle. Then I inserted the curtain rod in the middle of the foam and added some Spanish moss to cover the rock. Then I started adding the biggest topiary ball, then stacked it with the medium ball size. And last, I added the smallest ball. Then I added the curtain rod ends on the top. Lastly, I decided to add some twigs that I got from my backyard to give it more of that natural look. I really love how these topiary trees came out. It made me feel so proud that I was able to recreate them with so much less money than what they cost. Next project, I'm gonna need these wire wreaths that I got from Dollar Tree. One size is big and the small size, as you can see, they come in a pack of 2. I'm also gonna use 2 bags of moss from Dollar Tree as well, some ribbons here, and I am gonna need these stems that I saved from the florals to make the bunny's ears. So first I will attach the 2 wreaths together and I'm gonna use some floral wire to tie them with. I twist the wire a couple of times, then I secure it at the back. And then I am bringing the wired stem to make the ears and tie the ends together like this with some floral wire. Then attach it to the top of the bunny's head and use some hot glue for extra security. And then do the other ear same way. And when I am done with the bunny's body, I'm gonna go ahead and use some hot glue and glue the moss on the wire. But as soon as I started doing that, I noticed it was not working well because of the gap between the wires. So I decided to use some ribbon that I had around and I am gonna just wrap it around the wire like this using a dab of glue every here and there, and I went ahead and did that all around on the entire bunny. Then I started adding some hot glue to the ribbon and stick some moss on top of the glue, making sure to cover everywhere. Then I did same work all the way to the end until everything is covered with moss. I decided to add this flower by the ear of the bunny just to make it look like she's a girl. And I also wanted to add a bow, so I had 3 kinds of ribbon, and I'm just gonna cut each ribbon to 4 pieces and then stack them on top of each other like this. Then tie the middle with this floral wire. And then I added this tiny ribbon too. Then I fluff the bow by twisting each ribbon like this. And there, I made a bow and I think it looks so cute, and I'm gonna glue it here on the bunny's neck. I love how pretty this bunny wreath turned out, and I think it looks absolutely beautiful on my front door. Next DIY, I'm gonna need these two signs from Dollar Tree and some twine and some ribbon also from Dollar Tree. So I'm gonna tear this sign apart. I am saving this part for future projects, and I am only using the eggs, and I'm gonna paint the back side of them with this white paint from Dollar Tree. I also decided to mix some of this pinkish peachy color from Dollar Tree as well because I wanted them to have that peachy color. So I'm gonna go ahead and paint all of them. And when they are dry, I mix some brown color with the same peachy color that I had. And I am also using some of this goldish color. And with this foam dabber that I got from Dollar Tree, I'm gonna create some polka dot using both colors like this. And when it's completely dry, I glue the eggs to this ribbon. I think this project would be perfect for kids to work on, especially now while they are home. It's super easy and super fun to make. You don't even have to go out shopping for these eggs. Your kids can trace these eggs on any piece of recycled box or any cardboard you have on hand. Then they can cut those eggs, paint them, and glue them on a ribbon or a jute twine, and they can even decorate them or stick some stickers, letters on to make words. It's really fun way to keep the kids active and busy at home. I really love the finished look of this egg garland. I think it turned out really cute. I actually made this one for a friend of mine, but I just wanted to show you how it looks like on my mantle. Last DIY is super easy and super cute. I'm gonna use these bunny heads that I picked up from Dollar Tree and these napkin rings from Dollar Tree as well. First thing, I'm gonna need to take these napkin rings to the garage and spray paint them with this metallic rose gold color. Then I'm gonna remove these bunny heads from the sticks. Also, I am removing these bows. And when the napkin rings are dry, I go ahead and glue the bunny head to the napkin ring, and there. They look absolutely gorgeous on my napkin and perfect addition to my Easter tablescape. Next project I'm gonna show you guys are these two Easter eggs topiary. So I'm gonna use these galvanized pots that were from Dollarama,
some sticks, Spanish moss, green moss, floral wire, tissue papers, 2 floral foams, and these yellow eggs that I removed from other pics. I'm just gonna paint them in pink and pastel colors and drizzle over some brown color like this, then allow them to dry. Then I have this old floral foam. I'm just gonna add some tissue papers around it like this and hot glue while I am wrapping until it comes round or in the size that I am looking for. So this is the size. It's round, it's not perfect. Here is my planter. I am just adding some tissue paper in the bottom, then this floral foam. Then I'm gonna tie together these sticks with this floral wire. Then I add a little bit of hot glue to the bottom of these sticks, then stick them into the foam like this. So now I'm just gonna hot glue my eggs randomly around the ball, trying to keep some space between the eggs. And then I'm gonna hot glue some green moss between. Then I have this pink ribbon. I'm just gonna cut a piece and tie it around these sticks. And this is how it turned out. Moving to my second DIY, which is this beautiful lantern, and this lantern came from HomeSense long time ago, and it used to look like this. And as you can see, it's open from all sides and no glass, no door, and this way is easier to add anything to it. To make my bow, I am just gonna use these 2 kinds of ribbon. It's burlap with lace on it and pink one. So I'm gonna leave some ribbon hanging down like this. Then I'm gonna loop the ribbon around in a circle, then pinch it between my fingers and twist the ends down. Then make the second loop, pinch it again and twist it between my fingers. Then continue looping as many as I want. I'm making 4 loops. Then I'm gonna cut the tail, leaving some to hang down as well. Then I'm gonna add the pink ribbon, same way, loop around, pinch and twist. Then I'm gonna wire it with this floral wire and then wire it to the lantern. Then I'm gonna weave everything else into this bow and play around and fluff everything out until I figure out how I want it. here is the finished look. I really love how it looks. Then on the bottom here I have this raffia. I'm just gonna add it in there, play around a little bit, and add some Spanish moss as well, trying to make it look like a nest so I can add these cute eggs in there and these cute birds. Now this lantern is complete. It's just perfect for Easter. I absolutely love how everything turned out. Third DIY is this beautiful wreath. I have had this wreath for a long time. I used to have it for fall. As you can see, I just removed all the pumpkins, but I left some leaves on. And I have this cute eggs and bunny wreath that I thrifted at Goodwill. It was $2, but with 50% off, I only paid $1. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm just gonna tie a ribbon around here, then stack this wreath on the top of this one. Then tie both wreaths with the same ribbon and hang them on my front door. How easy is that? I really love how cute it looks. Next project, I'm gonna create this home sign, and I have these 4 signs that I picked up from dollar store, and I'm gonna use the back side of it only. I'm also using this flower from Dollar Tree and these letters that I hand draw. So at first I'm starting off cutting this jute to paint the back of each sign using this acrylic white paint from dollar store. So I'm gonna go ahead and paint all of them and allow them to dry. Next, I will be cutting these letters that I hand draw on a piece of paper. You could buy them ready-made at any craft store or make them on a Cricut machine if you have one. Also, I forgot to mention that I will be using this placemat from Dollar Tree as well to create my letters. But first, I am cutting this circle that says enjoy every moment in case I will need it for another project. So here I am placing each letter on the placemat and trace it over the placemat. And then when I am done with all 3 letters, I'm gonna go ahead and cut each letter. Now that I have all my letters H, M, and E ready, and I will be using this flower for letter O, I am removing this welcome part to save it for another project. So now I will be paint everything with this acrylic silver paint from dollar store, and I'm gonna give them a couple coats of paint to give it that galvanized look. Now that my signs are dry, I'm gonna create some lines in between these things, just like how they have them in the original sign, to make it look like blocks. So I'm gonna go ahead, use a pencil, and do that on all 4 boards. Then I'm gonna sand the edges a little bit with this scrub. Then I'm just gonna dry brush over it with this acrylic Bernat from dollar store, or you could use any brown to give it that distressed look. Then I use a little bit of same Bernat color, mix it with some water very well, then I brush it lightly on each board like this to give it that brushed finished wood. Next, I glued the letters on each board. I use hot glue. You could use E6000 or any glue you have in hand. Lastly, I decided to add some greenery, and I had this foliage floral in hand. So I took few off the stems and I glued them on the top of each board. Then I used a little twine to make small bow and hot glue it on top like this. And I think it looks so cute. To hang them, I used same jute that was there but on the other way. I
hung them horizontally on this wall, but you could hang them vertically if you like to. This wall comes in across the back door of our home when we first enter from the garage. So this sign would be the first thing to see whenever my family or my clients enter the door. I absolutely love how beautiful this turned out. Moving to the next DIY, it's really simple and really cute. I have these two rugs that I picked up at Dollar Tree and this bunny cushion from Dollar Tree as well, which this bunny is double-sided, so I'm gonna use my tiny scissors and cut in between like this to separate the two sides. I mixed same acrylic white paint with a little bit of gold to give it that champagne beige color. Then I bring the two rugs together like this, making sure it's evenly straightened. You could hand sew this if you like to. I'm using it for a decorative piece, so I am using my hot glue. So I'm gluing the two pieces together on all three sides, nice and even, leaving one side open to insert the cushion foam inside. Now it's time to hot glue the bunnies on the rug, but I thought the bunnies were too big, so I went ahead and cut the outline to make it a bit smaller. I just followed these tiny holes and cut it. Now I think it looks better. So to glue these bunnies to the rug, I went ahead and used my hot glue. Now for the stuffing, I am using an old pillow that I have around. You could also do that if you have an old pillow that you don't need, or buy a big bag of foam from Walmart for only a few dollars. And then I'm gonna hot glue this side as well. And for the bunny tail, I used this yarn from Dollar Tree and I tried to make a messy pom-pom. Then I hot glue it at the bottom like this. To give it that finished look, I glued some twine all around the bunnies and I think it looks so cute. For the last DIY, I am using these 3 different sizes terracotta pots from Dollar Tree. I'm gonna paint them in same acrylic white color. Then I am using the dry brush technique to give it that aged look. And then I am adding some wrapping paper inside the large terracotta pot, then top it with some floral foams like this. Then add the medium size on top of the foam. I hot glue it to secure it in place. Then I did same thing here and hot glued the small pot on the top. Then I added some moss and some pebbles. Lastly, I added some succulents. Feel free to add any greenery or even add some real plants. I am thinking to do a bigger sizes terracotta pot for my garden and grow some fresh herbs or flowers.
Next project, I will use this clementines box. I love the size of it and how it has some clips on it. So I'm gonna paint it with this white chalk paint that I got from Home Depot. Feel free to use whatever color you have on hand or whatever color you like. And once it's dry, I will use this acrylic brunette color from Dollar Store, and I'm gonna use the dry brush method to give it that distressing look. Then I glue some floral foams inside the box like this. Then I use some of these hydrangeas that I had around the house. Again, you could use any greenery or picks or flowers that you have around the house. And I'm gonna go ahead, play around, arrange them on this box until I like it. Also, I wanted to add this blessing sign that was from Dollar Tree, and I'm gonna glue it here on this side. And I think this arrangement came out super cute. You can place it in any space of your home and you can leave it all year long. So first I'm starting off with cutting my moss and separating it. Then I have the biggest size ball and this dowel. I am just gonna use my knife and make a hole for my dowel to fit easily inside the ball. Then I will brush some Mod Podge on the entire ball and then cover it with moss. It wasn't sticking quite well, so I started to add more of the Mod Podge and stick the moss on top of it. It was a bit struggling, but it worked fine at the end, and I made 2 more balls, then I let them settle. Once they were dry, I inserted some floral foams inside my planter. Then I assembled the first topiary ball. Then I added the small one on top of it. Then I decided to add some twigs in between the topiaries to give it a natural look. And the second one, I made it a little bit different. So first I added the floral foam inside the planter, and then I stick the dowel, leaving some space between the planter and the topiary ball. Then I cover it with some Spanish moss. Again, I added some twigs for more of that natural look. And here how they turned out. I think they look really cute. Next DIY is really simple and super easy to make. Here I have some paper flowers and some small size styrofoam balls. I just add some hot glue to the bottom of the flower and glue it on top of the ball like this, and so on until the ball is covered like this. I will go ahead and make another one in greenish color and another one with bigger flowers, and I think they turned out super cute. You can put them in a basket or on a tray. They will be perfect addition to your decorations. Last DIY is also simple, but it takes some time and a lots of patience. So I have this yarn from Dollar Tree. I am just gonna glue it here on the top of the small ball and wrap it around like you see me doing here, and add a bit of hot glue as I wrap the yarn around, making sure it's sticking to the ball all the way to the bottom. And once I finish all 5 balls, I have this floral stem that I saved from previous project, and it has some leaves on it. I am just gonna stick the stem inside the ball like this with the add of some hot glue to secure it well. Then I have this vase I will stick them in, and I think they look so beautiful and so adorable. For this project, I have these 3-piece wreath rings from Dollar Tree, and I am only gonna use these 2, and I will use this one for the next project. So at first, I'm gonna attach these 2 rings together using some floral wire. So I will be using these flowers that I had long time ago, and they were from Michaels, and I will be using some Dollar Tree flowers as well. Now I am gonna use some floral foam and place them on top to see where to secure them. Then I hot glue them down like you see me doing. And once the glue is dry, I go ahead and add the flowers, starting with the bigger one on the middle right here, then 2 medium flowers on each side, and then 2 smaller on each side as well. I am also gonna use some of this greenery bouquet from Dollar Tree. And once I am happy with how it turned out, I go ahead and add this metal welcome word that comes in a pack of 3 words from Dollar Tree. I already spray painted it with some rose champagne spray paint. And I'm gonna use a mix of E6000 and some hot glue to glue it down. And here is the finished look of this gorgeous wreath. I really love how beautiful it turned out. The next project, which is so simple and super easy to make. I am using this small brass ring that I saved from the previous project, this cute pom-pom garland I had from Dollarama for only $1.25, and some Dollar Tree flowers. Now I'm gonna go ahead and hot glue the pom-pom garland around the ring. Then I'm gonna add one of these Dollar Tree peachy color flower
but because this ring is too small, I thought these flowers were too big, so I went ahead and made them smaller. Then I hot glue them down. So here I decided not to add too many flowers. I just thought 3 would be enough, and I also went ahead and added this ribbon to hang it with. Now I just need to add some more hot glue at the back to cover most of the wire with pom-pom. Lastly, I decided to add some blush color to the pom-pom, so I am gonna use some of this old makeup blush powder that is almost done and brush it lightly on the pom-pom like you see me doing. And that's it, guys. I really love how cute this mini wreath came out. Next project is also simple. I am using one of the willow wreath from Dollar Tree, but I will spray paint it with this rose champagne spray paint. Also, I am using 2 of these greenery bouquet from Dollar Tree and some ribbons. So here's the wreath all painted and dry. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cut all the stems off. Then I'm gonna add them on each side. I play with them until I like what I see. Then I go ahead and glue them down. Now it's time to add a bow in the middle. Feel free to make any bow. Just make sure to use the wire ribbon. It makes it easier to work with. And once I finish my bow, I use a piece of floral wire and I tie it around the bow. Then tie the bow on the wreath like this and then secure it at the back. I also added another bow on the top of this one. Then I fluff everything out a little bit. Lastly, I add a piece of ribbon to hang it with. And that's it, guys. It's all done. How fun and easy was that? I absolutely love how beautiful it looks on my front door. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed these projects and I hope you found some of these ideas helpful. Please give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comment below which one was your favorite project in today's video. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when I upload my next one. And until then, be well and have fun.